Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. I'm Jester, and I want to apologize because my work schedule, I have issues with electrical power, so the uploads are gonna be a little bit different. Let's just say that. So if you wanna know, if you wanna get notified when they come up, please subscribe, click the bell, and leave it a like if you like this kind of videos, so I can pump out more and give you more content. All right, let's get to the video.
Were you home on the afternoon of November 21st, that Sunday afternoon?
Yes.
Jason leading.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
Yeah, he's just asking the question.
What was the answer?
Yes, I believe is what he said.
Yes.
What happened is you were also standing in the driveway.
Mr. Brooks
He said it
was coming up the driveway, and when I turned, he kind of stopped, and I noticed that he wasn't wearing a jacket or shoes.
Could you tell us what he was wearing?
He was wearing.
Overruled. He may answer.
Okay. He was wearing just blue jeans and like a red T-shirt, and he had lifted his shirt and did a 360 and told me that he didn't have any weapons and that he needed a phone to call an Uber.
He likes to tell people that he wasn't wearing a weapon. I mean, he can't. He's a convict, so he cannot wear weapons. So
How many of your sons were present and in the driveway with you?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
2.
How old were they at the time?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. He may answer.
One was 21 and the other one was 14.
Do you recall providing a physical description of Mr. Brooks, the person you've referred to as Mr. Brooks today, back on November 21st when you met with the police?
Objection. I did not consent to being called that name.
Mr. Brooks, that's not a valid objection at this time. Go ahead. You may
I don't
answer.
consent to
thank you, Judge, for saying that. He's not gonna stop him, but thank you for saying that for the record.
being called that name.
Go ahead and answer.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Back on November 21st, when you met with the police, did you provide a physical description of the man who came up your driveway?
Yes.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
Your Honor, could you please instruct
How is it not relevant that he gave a description to you
Mr. Brooks
of
to
you?
remove his mask momentarily?
Mr. Brooks, please remove your mask and look at the witness.
There it is. Put it on. Put
The
it
person
on.
you've described today as walking up your driveway, the person who you've referred to as Mr. Brooks today, do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may
Not
answer, sir.
consent to being called that name either.
Yes.
Could you please point to him and then tell us what he's wearing?
He's wearing a suit and tie.
Let
And a
the-
mask.
Your Honor, let the record reflect, please, that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
He's not even paying
And then
attention.
pointed with his right hand towards Mr. Brooks.
Thank you for that.
Objection, I
additional.
don't consent to being called that name. For the record.
Whose phone, you described handing a phone to Mr. Brooks, whose phone was it?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Your objection is noted, although it's not legally relevant at this time, and I'd ask that you not interrupt with an objection for that reason under 906.11. Go ahead, Attorney
I
Witchow,
don't
your
consent
question
to being
again.
called that name.
And he did it again.
Whose phone was it that you handed to the man in your driveway?
That was my fault.
And did you see what that man did with the phone?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
He called a number on the phone, or called somebody, which I at the time thought was Uber.
When you met with the police, did they ask to see your phone?
Yes.
And the purpose of that was to try and see the number that
Yes.
Mr. Brooks had called?
Objection.
That's leading.
I
Overruled.
don't consent to being called that name.
Yes.
Would you please show for the witness only exhibit number 74, a photograph?
Go ahead.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
I love that look that Zach gave to Brooks. It's like, what are you saying, bro?
Grounds.
It's relevant.
Mr. Caprone, do you see a photograph on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
What are we looking at here?
This is the number that Mr. Brooks had called.
Can you read that number out loud for us?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
414-610-2153.
And this is a call history.
Is that an actual number? Is that the actual number of Dawn Woods? Can they say that? Like, a lot of people, I'm sure she changed the number by now, but I'm sure a lot of people will dial in that number just because they heard it on TV or YouTube.
Screenshot, is that right? Where we can see all the recent
Leading
calls
second.
to and from that number?
Yes.
Is this an accurate depiction of how your phone screen looked that afternoon as you showed it to the police?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
Yes.
I move exhibit 74 into evidence and ask for permission to publish.
Objection, relevancy.
Okay, Mr.
It's
Caprone, did you
relevant.
call this number at any point?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. He may answer.
No.
So all three of these calls, outgoing, incoming, and canceled, would have been made by someone other than you.
Yes.
Objection, leading.
And the only person who had your phone during that time frame was who?
Objection,
Me.
leading.
Or
Overruled.
Derek, no, Mr. Brooks.
After Mr. Brooks handed you your phone back, what happened next?
A lady had called me, and I answered the phone, and I asked her if she was Uber, and she told me she wasn't an Uber.
And it was recorded in your phone's call history?
Yes.
And it was the same number that Mr. Brooks had used your phone to dial.
Objection, leading, and I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. Any questions, Mr. Brooks, for this
Yes.
witness?
Here we go.
Consent to being called that name for the record.
So, we just saw this witness. This witness gave his phone. He was trying to help Darrell Brooks. Like, he didn't mean anything other than, you know what, I'm seeing a homeless looking guy on the street. He's asking to use my phone to call an Uber, which is if he's homeless and doesn't have any money, I will think, I don't know, you wouldn't use an Uber. I'm just saying. But, do you see this guy? This guy, you just saw him come at you at the street and he asked to use your phone. And you're like a good person, so you gave you your phone and he makes like 3 calls. Now let's see how Darrell Brooks appreciates that help to this guy.
If it pleases the court, I have the statement here, and I would like to show the witness.
Is it his written statement?
Nope.
It's I'm guessing, whatever statement he gave to Detective Shorts.
Is it a written statement?
It's a
I
summary.
don't know if it's a written statement.
You should know.
Would this
Maybe
be
it
the-
may- maybe
Would
it
this
may-
be the police report?
Yeah.
If it's not his written statement, then I'm gonna deny that request to show it to the witness. You may ask a question.
Don't help him.
Do you recall in your report with Detective Shorts that you described the male as approximately 5'5" to 5'6", weighing approximately 120 to 125 pounds, and the male appeared to be in his 20s?
Yeah, I don't recall.
Any reason why this report would say that, and then you would, when you were asked the description, you gave a different description? Any reason why
been
the
a
two
year.
would conflict?
Objection,
Grounds?
argumentative, and
Grounds.
misstates the evidence.
Sustained.
Reason for the sustain? Grounds for the sustain?
Sustained as to the form of the question. And it misstates the testimony in part.
Well, I'm reading from the report that was given to the
So what?
And you can't testify as to what that report says. You can only question the witness on it, sir.
That was a question. Do you recall?
He said he did not recall. Next question.
Good. Good. I love that. Make him move on. He doesn't know what to do
Do
now.
you recall around what time you were subpoenaed?
Wow, that question was the basis of his whole questioning. So now he's just back to the subpoena testimony, like the defendant, the plaintiff. Wow, they destroy
I
him.
think a letter came in the mail in July.
And did you follow up with the district attorney's office at that point?
Yes.
Do you recall whom you spoke with? You made let the record reflect, you made a hand gesture with your left hand. Would that be referring to the table,
Yes.
the prosecution table?
Yes.
So you recall speaking to one of those attorneys?
Yes.
Do you recall whom?
Back.
The gentleman here.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna be fair, and I'm gonna move myself out of the way right now. And fair is fair. I'm gonna rate Zach's suit. So it's Zach, so he gets 2 points. He has a nice fitting suit. I like his tie. The red stands out from the dark color of the suit. So I guess that's a 12 for Zach. He destroyed Darrell Brooks on this one by double the points. Good for him. It's a really big honor to have that.
Mr. Caprin's pointing at me.
Yeah.
Right, the record will still reflect.
And at any time, did you ever see a police report or a complaint in this matter?
No.
Did you ever yourself make a claim in this matter?
Don't understand the question.
Did you file a claim?
I don't understand the
That
question.
doesn't clarify anything. You just ask the same thing.
Did you yourself file a complaint with law enforcement?
No.
Ever spoke with the plaintiff in this matter?
Here we go.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
It's pointless.
Nine,
Move
six,
on.
11.
Are you aware of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. Relevance 90611 as well.
Please tell him to move on.
You ever seen a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Had any conversations or any interactions with the plaintiff?
Objection.
Grounds.
Judge,
Sustained as to the form of the question.
come on.
Ever had a phone conversation with the plaintiff?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Ever been contacted by the plaintiff in any way?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Have you ever contacted the plaintiff in any way?
Objection.
Grounds.
How long
Sustained
are we gonna do this,
Grounds for the
Judge?
sustain, Your Honor.
as to the form of
He's
the
gonna
question.
ask the same questions, and they're all gonna be shut down. Why are we?
Are you
still-
even aware of a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
I previously sustained it. Next question.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Next question. Under 90611, please continue.
Thank you. Move on.
Otherwise, I'll declare the cross-examination
You
ended.
can declare whatever you want to. No further questions.
Wow.
You recall meeting with myself and my colleagues here a few weeks ago?
Objection.
Yes.
Relevancy.
Overruled.
You ask about him meeting with them. What do you mean relevancy? This is redirect. They can ask questions about it because you brought it up.
Do you remember where that meeting took place?
Here.
In the courthouse?
Yeah.
During business hours?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You questioned him about
Thank
meeting
you.
with the prosecution. These are proper.
I didn't question him about the time.
It's
So-
proper redirect. Go ahead, sir. You may answer.
Yes.
You
He's
discussed
so
your
frustrated. He's like, this cannot be possible. You ask about it, dude. It's like that's the definition of opening the door for them to ask that. You welcome them in.
potential testimony, is that right?
Yes.
Were we asking you questions about November 21st?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
It was there.
Yes.
We showed you that the photograph of the call log, right?
Yes.
And had you ever looked at your phone screen before?
Objection for lead.
Not leading. It's relevant, and he may answer.
Yes.
Did we at any time give you a script for your testimony today?
Objection, asked during cross.
It's
That
redirect.
wasn't
it's proper.
asked.
You may answer. It's overruled.
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all we have.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down. Statement calls next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Aaron Cordes. Do you recall from what location you watched the parade?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
She
She
was
may
there.
answer.
What?
We watched
I'm
it from
sorry. I'm sorry. I get it. He has to object to everything. But they're establishing if she was there or not. How is that not relevant, my guy? Come on.
corner of West and Wisconsin.
Near the end of the parade route?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
As you were at that location watching the parade, did something unusual happen?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
The car, I thought it was coming at us for a minute, but it ended up swerving and going through the barricades, and the police officer fired 3 shots at the vehicle.
You were standing right there at that intersection.
Yes, I was.
Objection.
Objections noted. It's overruled.
We were parked a few blocks out of the way on Elizabeth Street.
Okay.
At Aries Industries.
Do you have some familiarity with Aries Industries?
Yes, I do.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. She may answer. Do me a favor. If there is an objection, wait until I rule on it before you answer.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And what's your familiarity with Aries Industries?
Objection.
Overruled.
My husband is employed at Aries Industries.
Do you happen to know the address of that location?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
I don't offhand, no.
Okay. Do you know what street it's on?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
Leading.
It's not leading. Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, Elizabeth Street.
Okay. Making your way back to your car, did you encounter somebody out on foot?
Yes, we did.
Tell us about that, please.
Objection, leading.
Overruled. She may answer.
Okay, so now I see what he's doing. Like I was trying to think in my head why he was objecting so much, but for no reason. Why he was, but now that I look at him, it is that he's reading right now. He's not prepared at all about it, about this witness. He didn't read the file. He had the witness list, but the reason why he's stalling, why he's objecting to everything, is just to gain time so he can read the report while she's testifying, and then do his cross for whatever reason. So that's why he's doing it. I didn't catch that before.
We had just rounded the corner onto Elizabeth Street, and Darrell Brooks, we encountered Darrell Brooks. He came out of the shadows between a couple houses and approached us.
Wow.
Now, you
Okay.
refer to this person by name. Did you know Mr. Brooks prior to this encounter?
No,
Okay. Never met him before.
correct.
Objection.
And you said he...
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
The objection came after her answer. Her answer will stand. Next question.
You said he kind of came out of, did you say the bushes?
Objection.
What did you say?
The shadows.
Objection.
Oh, overruled. She rephrased. He may answer. She may answer. I'm sorry.
It appeared he came from between two houses, so I don't know exactly where he was.
Okay. And did you notice his appearance when he approached you?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Yes, I did.
What did you notice?
I just remember it was a very windy, cold night, and he was dressed pretty inappropriately for the night. I noticed he was visibly shivering. He had a red short sleeve t-shirt on and was not wearing shoes.
That's cold.
Do you see the same person present in this courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that Mr. Brooks be instructed to remove his mask and look at the witness so she can properly identify him, please.
Mr. Brooks, please unmask and look at the witness. Sir, would you please unmask and look at the witness? Thank you.
Writing something down.
All right, thank you. Just want to make sure you heard me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Put it back on. Just put it back on.
Is that the gentleman you encountered on the street that you're describing for us, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
Did Mr. Brooks speak to you in any way?
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name.
You may answer.
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
He asked if either of us had a phone that he could use, and we said we hesitated because it was strange. It was a strange encounter.
So he asked for the phone.
Correct.
You kind of pause.
Yep.
And then what'd you do?
And then
Leading.
Overruled. Go ahead, you may answer.
his next words were, "I'm not going to hurt you. I just need to use your phone." And that's when I gave him my phone.
Okay.
That can be considered a threat. It's like saying I'm not gonna hurt you, but I need to use your phone. It sounds menacing to me. I don't know about you guys, but if someone is like, I'm not gonna hurt you, but I need to use your phone, that's telling me like you're gonna hurt me if I don't give you my phone.
Did he use your phone? Did you see him manipulate your phone in some fashion?
Objection. What do you mean by manipulate?
He doesn't know what manipulate means. My guy, manipulate is just you grab something and you look at. I'm manipulating this battery in my hand. See, that's what happens. Shout out to Kirkland, sponsor me. You guys know where to find me. But yeah, another word he doesn't know.
Overruled. She may answer.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Did you see him use your phone in some way?
Yes, I did.
What did you see him do?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
He called his mom.
Could you hear what he was saying on his end?
Yes, I could hear what he was saying.
Could you hear the responses being provided by the person on the other end of the phone?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
No, I could not hear the other side of the conversation.
Okay. Tell us to the best of your memory what you remember Mr. Brooks was saying into the phone.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Go ahead and answer, please.
Not to be called that name. Thank you.
He just kept asking his mom to call him an Uber. And he wasn't responding to anything that she was asking. He just kept repeating, "Call me an Uber. I need an Uber now."
Did Mr. Brooks turn his attention to you and ask a question to you as he was still on the phone?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Go ahead and answer.
He asked for the address where we were located at the time.
At some point, did he terminate his phone call?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, he did.
And what happened then?
He said that he was freezing and he asked if I knew of any place that he could go warm up. So my husband directed him towards the lobby of Aries.
Did you see if he left your presence, where did he go?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
He went up to the lobby.
You saw that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to request permission to publish again.
Permission granted.
Objection.
All right.
It's noted. It's overruled.
Why is he objecting to evidence? That always cracks me up. It's why it's evidence. It's exhibits. They're relevant. That's why they're there.
It's already been received.
Could you just please point out Aries Industries and specifically, if you can, the area where you saw Mr. Brooks head for
Objection.
the lobby of the building?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name again for the record.
Jury will disregard that last comment by the defendant.
It's way in the other corner over here, so it's
Okay.
hidden by the trees.
Okay. So the area where you first encountered Mr. Brooks, is that actually shown in this photograph?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Jury will disregard that comment.
I don't consent. For the
Oh.
record.
Go ahead and answer, ma'am.
It's more over here where we were parked. There's a second parking lot
Okay.
over there.
Okay. And then the person in the photograph, can you circle the person, please? Is that what Mr. Brooks looked like that evening when you spoke to him?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Go ahead and answer.
Yes.
Is this the door that you directed Mr. Brooks to?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
You may answer, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe this video is a true and accurate depiction of the events of November 21 of 21?
Yes, I do.
Objection.
Move to
Your-
admit 76 and permission to publish, Your Honor.
I believe there was an objection. It's noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 76 is received and permission to publish is granted.
The witness wasn't there in this video. How could it be relevant?
What?
Your objections noted, sir.
They didn't ask her about if she was there. She was asked if that that was near her, and if that was that was the way that you look like. It's relevant.
How could it be
We're going
relevant?
to play it in its entirety, Your Honor. Did you see a person approach the doors to the building during the video?
Yes, I did. I saw Darrell Brooks approach the door.
And is that consistent with what you saw that night as you watched Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Mr. Brooks may have questions for you. Any cross, sir?
I don't consent to being called that name for the record.
Do you have questions?
Your cross, please.
Can I get to it?
He's so snippy today.
You just stated that before the interaction with the person that you had, you didn't know him.
Right?
That'd be fair to say?
Yes, that's fair to say.
So how could you refer to him by name if you didn't know him?
I don't like his tone of voice. He's really angry with the witness. He's why?
I have seen the news since then, and the video of you being arrested, and you had since been identified on TV.
So that's how you came to the name?
That's correct.
Good.
So it'd be fair to say that you got that off of news reports.
That's correct.
So?
You said the individual you spoke with seemed out of place and disoriented, like he didn't know where he was. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And how would you characterize disoriented?
Crazy eyes.
You just seemed very, very nervous and that you didn't know where you were.
Who's you?
You had specifically said, I don't know where I am.
Who's you?
So the reason why he looked disoriented was because he actually said, I don't know where I'm at. That makes sense, definitely.
Or where am I, specifically?
Yeah,
If you couldn't
he asked for the
hear-
address.
What was being said on the other end of the line? How can you say that there was questions being asked?
Well, there was clearly a conversation going on, and you just kept repeating, just call me an Uber, that you were very frustrated, and whoever was asking questions of you didn't just to call you an Uber. It's just my interpretation of it. I could not hear the other end of the phone conversation.
So it'd be fair to say you don't know what was being discussed.
Besides call me an Uber, yes, that's correct.
Do you recall the description you gave in your written statement?
Yes, I believe so.
I don't think that's his written
Believe
statement.
so?
Yes, I recall the description I gave.
And what was that?
The description I gave was an African American male, about 160 pounds, 5'8", wearing a red t-shirt, no shoes.
And you referred to this individual coming from between houses, you said?
That's correct.
Is that what you actually saw?
Yes, that's what I saw. I saw you approach us at the very start of the block from between two houses.
Any reason why that's not in your written statement?
That's not her written statement.
I don't recall. I didn't actually write it. There was
Thank
a
you.
detective at our house that was writing the statement for it. Maybe that part got missed. I'm not sure.
Good one. Good witness. I like
Was
her.
it this statement?
She's not taking anything from him.
I don't have it in front of me
How
to
can
see
she
it.
know? You're just showing two.
Permission to show the witness.
Like,
the
if
written
I go
statement?
this far and show you this,
It's necessary, Your Honor.
I don't know what I
She
have.
hasn't expressed any
This.
inability to recall.
can you read this?
She did. She just said
Recognize-
she don't know why something was not in her written statement.
That's what she said is she doesn't know why the detective didn't write it in there. The detective is the one who wrote it, Your Honor.
So sustained,
were you-
next, sustained
so
is to
were
the
you-
form of, Mr. Brooks, let me answer. Sustained is to the form of the question.
So the officer was writing what you told him, or did you actually write it yourself?
I did not actually write it myself. The detective was writing it as we were speaking, my husband and I.
So it's not even
Did you
her.
make any claim in this matter?
Again, one little thing that you put apart from this guy, and he goes back to the well. Just back to
File
plaintiff's
claim.
claims.
What kind of a claim?
Have you filed any claim?
No.
No one knows what you mean.
You filed a complaint?
I just gave a witness statement to the detectives. I did not file a complaint specifically.
About what time did you learn that you could possibly testify in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled, she may answer.
When I received a subpoena in the mail from the DA's office.
Do you recall whose name was on that subpoena?
Sue Opper.
Do you see Sue Opper in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you point her out for the jury and for the record?
I'll stipulate, Your Honor.
Why? What's the
Are
point
you
of that?
aware who the plaintiff may be in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Here we go.
Sustained.
Ever been notified who the plaintiff is in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
It's
Next question,
irrelevant.
please.
Do you even know if there's a plaintiff in this matter?
Yes, there is.
And who's the plaintiff?
I believe it's the state of Wisconsin.
Would that constitute a breathing human being or an entity?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Are you aware that only a human being can bring a complaint or be a plaintiff?
Objection, misstatement
Grounds.
of the law.
Sustained.
Have you ever contacted the state of Wisconsin in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Under 90611, move on, or I'll declare the
I just gotta point this out. It doesn't have anything to do with anything, but my brain thinks this way. Like, it looks like this lady is coming out of this box. I'm sorry to point that out, but my brain just went there and I had to say
cross-examination ended.
it. Now you can't unsee it.
Of course you would.
Wow.
Yep, no, I know. I need the
yeah,
jury.
yes, we're
We're
ready.
back on the record. We'll have the jury brought out. I know I did that once, but I'm not going to do that again. Not yet. Now it is. You gotta. I gotta get faster on that. Yep.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
No.
We're not.
Still has yet to be proven for the record.
A written decision, my guy. Read it. Maybe you can read it.
Is that a judicial determination that you don't have to answer there, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, I've already answered subject matter jurisdiction. You know that full well.
No, I don't.
The decision was entered last week.
I know nothing. It has yet to be proved. That's what I know.
Doesn't need
So-
to be proved.
It does.
You know nothing or you know something, because you cannot do both.
It has to be proven by the prosecution. You know that.
No, I actually know to the contrary, so we're not going to address
So
it.
so show me a lawful law that it says
Mr.
that.
Brooks, I provided you with the law.
No,
I'll
you
give
have
you
not.
you know what? I'll have my clerk print off another copy of that order.
You don't have to do that. Have
No,
her
I'm going
print.
to, because you apparently didn't read
No,
it. So
have
I
her
hope you
print
can read
off
it this
proof.
time.
Have her print off proof that you have subject matter jurisdiction. How about that? It has to be proven
Mr.
for the
Brooks,
record. It has
you
yet
are
to be
simply
proven.
wrong as a matter of
No,
law.
I'm not. If I'm wrong, then show me that I'm wrong.
I've given you the constitutional and
No,
the
you haven't.
statutory authority.
No,
and
you
the
have
case
not.
law.
You have not proven it on the record.
It doesn't need to be proven, sir.
It does need to be proven.
I believe the jury's coming in.
I believe that.
You know where I'm at.
Prove it. You got to
know
prove
that.
subject matter jurisdiction.
You already know. I'm sorry.
Set for value in return for value of that document is not proof of subject matter jurisdiction, for the record.
She never said it was.
Sir, direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you working in the city of Waukesha that day?
Yes,
What were you doing?
I was driving Lyft
Do you know approximately how many fares you took that day?
that
Objection,
day.
speculative.
Overruled. He may answer.
That day it was probably anywhere from like about 11 or 12, somewhere in there.
Were your clients all from the city of Waukesha? Was that the general area they were working?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled. You may answer.
I like his
At some point,
glasses.
did you become aware of an incident that had occurred during the city of
Nice.
Waukesha Christmas parade?
Yes.
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. He may answer. His answer may stand.
Really nice.
Looking back when you were working November 21st, 2021, did anything seem relevant with regard to that news that you saw?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yeah, I had a call that was in the area, and it was like just like a really weird call because no one ever showed up.
What information were you given with regard to that request?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. He may answer.
So the fare came in for dawn, and the address I was picking up at was, I think it was 550 Elizabeth, and it was an empty. Well, it wasn't an empty. It was an empty parking lot, but it was a company that was closed.
When you arrived at the location, do you send something through your app that says I've arrived?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
I began to message with whomever the person was on the other end, letting them know that I was waiting outside and that I was in a white car.
And this is a chat feature as part of the app?
Yes.
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. Your answer may stand.
And then what happened?
I received a message back letting me know who I was looking for and that they were calling a ride for someone else and they didn't know where he was. They then again gave me a description of who I was looking for.
And what was that description?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
Ask and answer.
Overruled. He may answer.
A light-skinned black guy with dreadlocks.
After you were given that information, what did you do?
Alleged red
I sent a
lights.
message saying I didn't see anyone. I received a message back saying I don't know where he is. His phone died. He called me from someone else's phone. I didn't know. It was a basketball court out there, so I thought I was waiting on a kid.
Okay.
So I didn't want to just leave. So I got out my car. I knocked on the door at the company to see if anybody would come out. I rang the buzzer. Got no answer. I got back in my car. I sent the message saying there's no one around.
What a nice guy.
Could they, make sure the person comes out because I had already been past the 5 minute grace period.
Okay.
I got a message back saying I'll try to call them.
And when someone requests a ride and they don't appear, is there a charge then to that person?
Objection, irrelevancy.
Yeah, there's a charge if they go past the 5 minute grace period. There is a charge.
Okay.
Upon arriving at the
Okay, so now this guy was the Lyft driver that was supposed to pick up Darrell Brooks, but he for some reason moved away from where he was. I don't see any questions that he could ask this guy. He didn't recognize him. He didn't interact with him. They just establishing that he was there to pick up Darrell Brooks. I'm really curious because I haven't really seen this interview. I'm really curious to know what he's gonna ask.
destination you were supposed to be giving a lift to someone. Do you recall if there was anything strange about the destination?
Yeah, it was a closed building. There was no one out there, no cars in the parking lot.
Okay.
And usually, does your Lyft app have a profile picture attached to it?
No.
Do you recall when speaking to law enforcement something to the effect of referring to a profile picture or description included in the profile?
I recall saying that there was no profile picture.
He got nothing. There's nothing to ask this
Do you
guy.
recall how many requests you completed after that failed one?
Approximately 8 to 10.
And you did state that you were not at the parade that evening, right?
True.
He has nothing.
No further question.
Yeah.
Anybody else home with you?
No.
Can you
Okay.
describe what that
We're gonna leave it here. I'm gonna cut the video. I want to have a one video about this guy because this is the key witness. This is the guy that you want to see. So I don't want to make the video like 2 hours long. So I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and we're gonna continue with the question note. But be on the lookout for this witness. I really like this guy. This is a key star witness, a first high-end witness person. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Give it a like if you make it this far. Bye bye.